My name is Hayden Fife. I'm 22 years old. I live in Marin County, California. Really enjoy making art, movies, video games. I think the thing that I like about painting is just kind of relaxing, I guess. My creative outlet.
For anyone with FOP, it's frustrating, especially for Hayden, to not be able to do the things that other people can. So to be able to excel at art makes him proud. It certainly makes me proud as his mother. Hayden was 2.5 when he was diagnosed with FOP. We were on a camping trip and we noticed that his neck started to get swollen. We took him to the doctors, and as typical with most people with FOP, he was misdiagnosed with cancer. And I distinctly remember the oncologist saying, "This is not cancer. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna find out." While we were waiting to determine what the actual diagnosis was, it was scary. I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen. They did a few fine needle biopsies, and then they decided to do a deep tissue biopsy. When the doctors were in the radiology room, a nurse practitioner, she overheard them talking. She was not on the care team at all. And she interrupted them and said, "Does he by chance have malformed big toes?" And they said yes. And she said he could have this rare disease and having a deep tissue biopsy would be catastrophic for him. Even though it's such a rare disease, her sister taught another child with FOP, and just by chance she walked in. There is such a lack of awareness of FOP in the medical community. Anything we can do to make doctors more aware of FOP and of the signs of FOP will save so many children and parents from heartbreaking misdiagnoses.
Patients who have FOP but are misdiagnosed may undergo unnecessary procedures or procedures like surgeries or biopsies that could lead to worsening of their disease. And when we talk about the worsening, we're talking about lifelong complications because they get new bone formation that basically will restrict motion in a particular joint or affect them for the rest of their lives.
My name's Corey Casebold. I'm 20 years old and I live in Lincoln, California. I like playing video games and also spending a lot of time with my dogs. Well, I haven't since I had my accident, but I used to go on lots of scooter rides with them.
Recently, Corey was riding his electric scooter and he had an accident in front of our house. He went headfirst over the handlebars and his head took the entire fall. With the limited degree of movement in Corey's arms and elbows and shoulders, he was not able to break his fall. And that's why his head took most of that impact. The experience in a hospital with someone that has FOP, you're immediately put to work. You know that you have a job ahead of you because you have to protect this person and give all the information that you can to get these medical professionals to understand something that they generally know nothing about. Over the course of about 5 days in the hospital, I do believe I explained FOP 30 times to every new medical team member that came into Corey's room. None of the physicians had ever heard of his condition.
The scariest thing about being treated by a doctor or a nurse that doesn't know what they can and can't do is the possibility of them causing a flare-up. The flare-up would lead to bone growth and loss of mobility.
If FOP patients don't have an advocate or aren't advocating strong enough for themselves, so much damage could be done to that person.
It's so important for me to keep the mobility I have because every time I lose more, everything in my life gets harder.
I hope you'll join me in supporting the IFOPA's Awareness Day campaign so that we can prevent misdiagnosis and that families don't have to go through the agonizing wait for getting a correct diagnosis.
So that the medical community will know better how to safely treat people who live with FOP.
So people with FOP can feel safer and be more comfortable in many situations.
Please support the IFOPA so more people know about FOP.